Scott, welcome back to Crawley. How does it feel to be manager here again?
Yeah, great. Fantastic, in fact. I'm really excited. Um, can't wait for the game tomorrow. Can't wait to see the fans again. So, yeah, really excited to be back. Obviously, we find ourselves in a precarious position in the table, so got a lot of work to do. But, yeah, really excited to be here.
Yeah, we're sure, obviously, you would have had lots of other opportunities, but what was it that attracted you to come back to the club?
I think the obvious, really, like my love affair for the club, and the fans and, my relationships with people here and the back office, the owners and, the players still, a lot of players here that played for me before. And yeah, I think it's kind of off. I feel like it's my club in many ways, and I had my reasons for leaving, which I don't need to discuss. I had my own reasons for leaving, but listen, now that's the past. This is now the future, and I'm really happy to be back.
Yeah, and I suppose there's many benefits having already managed us this season, because as you say, there's probably a group of maybe 10 players that you don't know. The rest are already familiar to you, so you know the talents that we got in the dressing room, because a lot of them were the players that you brought in at the start of this season.
Yeah, I think so, and I watch them, and I've watched them, coming into the job. I watched them, and I've seen them today in training, and felt that there's some real talent there. For whatever reason, it's not been a good season, and I think it's always like a snowball effect. When you're winning games, you can't stop winning games, and when you're losing games, it becomes tough to then turn that round as well. So it's been a long, hard season for the players, and it's really difficult to mentally keep going. What my job is now is to come in and try and lift the spirits of the players and give them a little bit of belief that the unachievable is achievable, and it really is. And we've seen that last season with what we did achieve last year. We were back to go down. We ended up getting promoted through the playoffs, as we all know, and that was a hard task, right? So, we've been there before as a football club, and we're here again now. So it is going to be a really tough ask to stay in the division. But until we're mathematically not capable of doing that, we will try every effort in order for that to happen. But yeah, the players have had a tough time, and I want them to try and believe in themselves a little bit more. And I know that's hard because of where they are in the division and what we've got in front of us. But I want them to believe a little bit more, because I even watched the game last week, and probably before the first 2 goals, they were fine. They were in the game. They looked capable, and then the body language of the players kind of went negative once that second goal went in, and it was almost like, oh, here we go again kind of attitude, where you're not supposed to always get it your own way in football, So we've got to make sure that we understand that, know that, and we might go behind on Saturday. We've got to be able to take them knocks, pick ourselves up better than they have done, and step forward and try and stay in each game. I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. I've prepared the team today. We look good today, I've got to be honest with you. And the atmosphere around the place was fantastic as well, and a real positive energy about the place. So let's see. But yeah, we know that the players have probably underachieved, but it's really hard once things are going so bad to get out of that kind of mindset. So that's down to me now to change the mindset and to try and make it a more positive place and make them to believe a little bit more than probably they do at the moment.
Yeah, and people will always remember the fairy tale story of promotion last year, but you flip a few months before that and we were fighting relegation then. So I suppose what it takes for a group of players, especially at this club, to fight and pull in that right direction. Obviously we do have slightly less games this time, but
yeah, I was looking today when I come in that first season. I think we had 22 games left. We've only got 9 now, so it's a big difference, right? And we probably need to win 6, maybe even 7 of these 9 games, which is a really big ask. Bearing in mind we've only won 7 all season, so with that in mind, it's going to be very tough, but it's doable. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, the unachievable is achievable always, until it's mathematically not possible. So we're going to be concentrating all our efforts on doing that, and I won't put the baton down, until I need to, and that'll be the last game of the season when I can probably have a little bit of time away or whatever. But like at the moment, we are fully focused on staying in this division. Yes, it's a tough ask. Yes, it's achievable.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier in the interview about belief. Is that the biggest thing that you think these players are lacking at the moment?
Yeah, but it's natural, it's normal for them not to, because of where they are and how long the season's been, and it's been a tough few months for them and tough season for them, and it's natural to feel no belief in the camp. It's natural for that to happen. What I've got to do is show them evidence of that they are a good side, and like we're gonna have to watch back training today as probably part of my team meeting tomorrow to show them, look, we are all right. We're a good side. You just got to know it yourself, and the players have got to really buy into that, because it's a big facet into winning games, is to have that belief.
Yeah, we mentioned the players that you're obviously already familiar with, but there's a sort of new cohort of players that you won't have been familiar with before your second spell here. What were your first impressions like of them at training today?
Yeah, really good. Really pleased with the group today. Like I say, everybody in the meeting this morning was engaged. I really like the feeling of the meeting. I really like the feeling of the group. I like the atmosphere of the training pitch today. I thought it felt good. The training was excellent. They took on board all the information and they trained it really, really well. But we know that's only part of it. We've got to do it on match day under pressure against good opposition, with a crowd behind us, willing us on to try and win, which is part of the job. So we've got to do that. We've got to do it really well over 9 games, and hopefully we'll go win some games and stay in the division.
Yeah, and fans during your first spell really liked how you spoke about how you had to drive professionalism from day one. How you had to drive out players being late to training. What were the sort of levels like today? You're going to have a bigger job on your hands as you did before in that sense, or was it as good as you would have left it?
I thought the players were really engaging today. They were on time. They worked hard in training. They were good. They'll know about it if they're not, so. But yeah, I really like the training today. I really like the way the players were today. But like I say, we've got to take that into tomorrow's game and use that as fuel to get us a result. But yeah, listen, I don't see the professionalism of the group a problem. I don't. I just think there's probably a lack of belief there. Like I say, I think the ability's there. I think there's just a little bit of lack of belief at the moment, which it's my job to instill a little bit more of that.
Yeah, your relationship with the fans at this club spread throughout the whole of football, not just here at Crawley Town Football Club. I think a lot of fans at other clubs were probably envious that they don't have the same relationship with their manager. Firstly, before we delve into that a bit more, how much are you looking forward to sort of seeing them all tomorrow?
It's the most enjoyment as a manager to walk out and show your appreciation to fans who appreciate you. It really is, and I can't wait. I can't wait to go out and see the guys and just applaud them for sticking by the team. I know it's been a tough season for them. The fans here are just the best in the country, in my opinion. They're just brilliant, and yeah, I can't wait to see them again. And I've missed them, really missed them, and I can't wait to get back out there and have a moment with them before the game, and hopefully we have a bit of a celebration afterwards. So let's see.
Yeah, and obviously you spoke about buy-in from the players for the remainder of the season. We also have to have that buy-in from the fans. We have no doubt that will be the case. How much of an impact can they have in these last few games? As we look to do the not impossible, but what
no, we have to like, in order for us. This is what I said to the players this morning. In order for us to achieve anything, you have to have a togetherness. You have to have a togetherness to achieve anything, and it's important that. We had, 25 players training today, and I have to pick an 11. that doesn't mean to say the other guys are not part of what we're doing. Of course they are. In fact, some of the players who are probably not starting the first game are probably the most important, because in a minute they're going to be needed and they need to be ready and fresh. And it's so important that everybody sticks together, especially when we're in this precarious position that we are. And that includes myself, my staff, the back office, the owners, and certainly the fans, because the fans can make such a difference when times are hard. And get behind the players. Trust me, I saw the players train today. They're fully engaged on trying to keep the club in this division. They're fully engaged in that. But we can't do it. We can't do it on our own. We need the fans to really buy in and get behind the lads. And turn up in your numbers. Turn up as many as you can turn up. Really, really pack this place out. I've seen this place rocking last year. It was an unbelievable place to play. And by the way, a tough place to come as an opposition as well. Really tough place to come. So let's build that again. Are we going to do it overnight? Probably not. But I think collectively we can do it easier if we're all connected. And that's what I want. I want to bring everybody together again. And let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, naturally people will look at the league table. They'll look at some of the fixtures we've got coming up here at home, and it will sort of bring back memories of the games where you were in charge of, the season where we were looking to stay up, of the Harrogates, of the Rochdale, where we packed this place out, made it a really hard place to come. And then even last season, on the other end of the table, the MK Dons in the playoffs, it's got that feel that, we can have some pretty big games towards the end of the season. So it should make for an exciting occasion, shouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I want it to be that. Wherever we end up, I still want the fans to come and enjoy these last 9 games. Don't get anxious. I don't want the fans to feel anxious. Listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is, and we are where we are. And we've got to win a big percentage of the games we've got left. We know that. But just enjoy it. And we've got to stay focused on the pitch. We've got to stay focused, in the technical area and really concentrate on our jobs. The fans enjoy it. You're going to see, what you are going to see is 11 men out there trying their hardest. And I just want the fans to get behind that and get behind the players and really support them. And try and really forget about what's gone on in the past. That's happened. We can't change that. We can try and make it better by putting a team out on the pitch now. We're going to work so hard for the club, for the badge, for the fans, for the owners, for the staff, everybody. And we can only have that really good feeling on the pitch if the fans are really behind us and really connected.
Perfect. Well, Scott, welcome back to Crawley.
Thank you.